President Trump ordered the military takeover of the police department in D.C. for what he called the lawless city. Critics have cited official crime statistics showing the lowest crime rate in 30 years, but the Trump administration said those statistics are fake and will go ahead with the takeover anyway. Here to talk with us about the legality of this move is Professor Michael Scott. He's director for the ASU Center for Problem-Oriented Policing. Michael, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Good to be with you.
So, is this legal, what President Trump's doing?
Well, from everything I can tell, it is legal, the action that he's taken. The District of Columbia, of course, is a creation of the United States Congress, and the authority given to the city to run its own police department, granted by Congress. It would take an act of Congress to remove that authority, but the President does have emergency authority to do such.
Are National Guard troops trained for this kind of policing, in the sense of what we think of as what police activity is in cities?
Well, not having served in the National Guard myself, I'm not positive, but I would highly doubt that they are, because it simply doesn't, the kind of work that the National Guard usually does is not similar to what the local police do. Local police training is typically 4 or 5 months, maybe longer, including extensive time in mentoring roles on the streets. So it's highly unlikely that the National Guard would have the same training as the local police.
So that makes me wonder whether there could be intrusion in the sense of what a law enforcement agency in a city like Washington, D.C. or some other large city if President Trump decides to do that. Not from a political standpoint, but actually from a practical standpoint. Could National Guard troops potentially get in the way, unintentionally, of the work that local law enforcement agencies do?
Well, it's possible, and it's my understanding it's not just the National Guard, but it could include other federal law enforcement agencies. The Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, it's a unique department, it's a unique jurisdiction. It's probably the most heavily policed city in the country, far and away, even just the local police alone. But there are 25, 30 other police agencies. The Metropolitan Police are quite accustomed to working closely with federal police agencies, so this isn't brand new for them.
What was your first reaction when you heard this was going to occur?
Well, I have to say in any other year I would have said I was shocked, because it is. It's highly unusual. I'm not shocked much by news coming out of Washington, as many of us are getting accustomed to, but it's unusual. When these kinds of things occur, they can occur, it's usually in the wake of an obvious catastrophe, a major incident, or upon specific request of the local police agency for that assistance, and that does not appear to be the case in this instance.
Before your academic career, you were in law enforcement.
Yes.
Very hypothetical. How would you feel if a department you were running in a city, large or small, and there was not an obvious crisis, and the president or some other person in federal government decided to do this? Would you initially be taken aback, and what sort of questions would you be thinking of if you were at that level?
Well, you'd be on the phone very quickly to ask the leaders of those other agencies, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? The local police always, almost always have recognized that the county police, the state police, the federal police have jurisdiction in their city. That's not the issue. The issue is when they go beyond exercising their limited authority and their special authority to take over basic policing functions. And you would, most police chiefs, municipal chiefs would resent that.
So could that resentment cause other issues? Because communication, as you indicated, is, I want to say, probably the most important step of this, to realize, okay, why are you doing it? How does that affect my agency? How does that affect my community? That brings me to the idea of, we've heard so much about community policing in recent years and how important it is to gain the trust of, in a very diverse area, let's say Washington, D.C. is very diverse, Phoenix is very diverse, a place where you have to gain that trust of different communities. Is this something that, I don't want to be the naysayer or the cynic, but could this cause other issues where it could cause certain communities to be more scared, thinking, well, my community seemed to be getting a little bit better, at least when it comes to crime. I'm not sure what this is a new factor that we hadn't taken into account.
Well, there's a lot in that question you ask. Certainly in the long term, this would become problematic, and it's to a great extent unfair to National Guard troops to federal police to ask them to know the city in the way that a local police officer would. They simply will not.
Yeah.
Short term, if they're limited to just being physically present in public spaces, probably not a huge concern. But the other part of this, and your question gets at, is not everybody in the community going to automatically feel safer when they see paramilitary and military soldiers on the street. In fact, there's a good likelihood it make them feel less safe, wondering why this is happening.
Well, that brings me to the question that we probably ask in every topic, which is perception. How important is that here? Because obviously people are going to, and it is political to some extent. It may be political to a great extent, but at least to some extent. Is there something out of this? If you were thinking a tally sheet of some sort, do you see potential pros and cons to this approach?
Well, it depends on what exactly you have the national or the federal police doing. We have some recent experience here in Phoenix in which Phoenix Police Department invited federal law enforcement agencies to collaborate with them over a long period of time. They were working on similar violent crime problems. Very beneficial, very helpful, but it was all coordinated, a lot of daily communication. This is different, and this would be a challenge for the Metropolitan Police to understand, why are these federal police, what are they doing here, what are they supposed to do, and how are they supposed to work with us?
Very, very few seconds left. Do you expect to see this in other cities?
No, I don't. Washington, D.C. is a unique city, as everybody knows. If the same thing were to happen in another city, I think that would be much more concerning.
Okay. Michael Scott, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.